I'm going to do something I don't normally do today, and that is to show off a macOS only tool. But it's so cool and so part of my workflow that I feel like I need to show it off. I want to show you 11 of my favorite extensions to use in Raycast, the keyboard launcher for macOS. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here and add a bunch of extras, so it'll be more like 11 categories. And then at the end, I'll finally show you one bonus tip as well. Links to all the extensions I mentioned will be listed in the description. Now, to install any extension, you simply open the store within Raycast, you search, and you install. Any extension can be configured then to open with a keyboard shortcut, or you can simply search for it by the name and then run the command. All extensions are free and open source, so you can actually look at the code yourself to see what it's doing. You can actually build your own extensions as well. I built tons of my own. If you're interested in that, let me know. You actually build them in React and TypeScript, and you can even include menu bar commands. Create your own menu bar commands using Raycast. Now, everything I'm going to show you today is using the free version of Raycast. I personally subscribe to the pro version, mostly for the AI features, but everything I'm showing you today is free. You ready? We're going to move fast. Let's jump in. Hey, what's up? My name is Chris, and welcome to Coding in Public. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in with the first one called List Repos. This just lists any Git repositories in a given folder or folders on your machine. You can set this up when you first install the extension, and then you can just search for anything you want. So like if I look for my Astra course, you'll see that I've got a bunch of options I can choose. Hit enter and it will open it in Visual Studio Code because that's how I've got it set up. In the Command K options here, though, you can see I've also set it up to open in my terminal of choice, Warp, with Command and Enter. With any of these extensions, they have Command K options that allow you to do a bunch of different things with whatever you've selected. All right, so that's the first one, just called List Repos. The next one I use a lot is called Brew, and this gives you 4 different commands. This worked with Homebrew. You can see any ones you currently have installed and search through those however you want to. You can also come out here and search for new ones. So anything at all in the entire Homebrew store, you can search for it and install it directly from here. Once again, you've got Command K options to install, or you can copy certain install commands or that kind of thing. You can also simply upgrade, and this just upgrades all of your tasks. If you want to stop it, you can cancel it like that. Again, everything is under your fingers, which is one of the reasons I really like Raycast. And the final one here just shows outdated tasks. All right, the next one is one I use a lot. It's called curl. You can make HTTP requests or look at your history. So first of all, let's go ahead and make an HTTP request. By default, it just uses JSON placeholder to kind of use this as a sample. I'll go ahead and make this request, and you can see I get a response. And over here, I get all the different details about that response. Now, you can obviously have your own things here too. And I actually have a little Hono.js server set up right now. So if I come in here and just add that, and I make a request, you'll see I get back hello from Hono. And in fact, if I come over here to my sample server, you'll see that that's exactly what I should get back right over here. So that's how you would make an HTTP request. You can also look through your current history and just copy the curl command for any of these itself. Now, if you prefer, you can also do a quick run here and actually rerun it, and this will jump you over to the other command as well. All right, another one that I really use a lot is if I come in here and I grab this sample response from a server, I can use something called JSON to TS. All this will do is take whatever you get back, whatever JSON you have, and convert this to some kind of interface for TypeScript. So if I go and paste this in, you'll notice even though I've got this still as JSON, it's actually created this interface for me, and it's a little bit complex, right? It's actually taken this, extracted this out to its own interface, and then referenced it within the root one. And of course, you can name this whatever you want, but way easier than trying to manually type stuff if types are not included in whatever server response you're getting back. Another quick one I use a lot is called kill process. Sometimes you just have some rogue process on your machine that you can't figure out what's going on, and you can easily kill anything from here. Just search for it and then kill it right away. All right, next let's look at some design options. For this one, I'm just going to come over here and change this to index.html to show you what I would do here. So let's say you have some kind of document here and you want to add a special font from Google Fonts. Well, I just search for fonts, and this Google Fonts one shows. And like with any extension with this top right-hand corner dropdown, Command P will open it up. And I can, for instance, just say, hey, show me only the serif ones. And then let's say I like that LAO one. All I have to do is look at the font variants, select whichever ones I want, hit Command K, and I can do a couple different things. I can copy the HTML link. That's what I'll do here. I can download the whole family. I can copy an import tag, whatever I want. In this case, I'm just going to do that, drop it in, and I'm set and ready to go. Another thing I will often do is try to change up colors and select colors from an image. I've actually set this one to a keyboard shortcut here, which is Command Option P for me. It just opens up a color picker, and let's say I take this purple right here, copy it, it's immediately on my clipboard, and I can paste it wherever I want to use it. Now, if you want to use it yourself, you've got a color picker here right here. You actually can also use a menu bar command. You can organize different colors that you've picked recently. So lots of different options with this one, but that's what I usually use it for, just to quickly pick a color and drop it into my CSS. Now, perhaps one of my all-time favorite is actually adding SVGs to my site. So let's come over here. I've got this blank SVG file. I can use something called iconify. And you can do this with two different commands. You can search all icons, and this would just be if you're like, hey, I don't care what set it comes from, just give me something that looks like a hamburger. And there you go. You got realistic hamburgers. You've also got like hamburger icons as well, but I can just paste this SVG directly in here. So really, really useful. The other command you have here, if I come back out, you've got view icons. And here with the Command P palette, you can select which set you want this to come from. So I like hero icons. I can come inside here, select from different varieties of hero icons, and I'll simply look at something like show me all the arrows in hero icons. Once again, I can come over here and do whatever I want. I've also got options to copy the name, to copy the SVG if I prefer, to copy the URL, or any other options available here. Now, the next one is actually for minifying SVGs. I'm assuming that one is minified, but this one right here is not minified. It comes from Figma. What I can do is copy this one right here and open one called SVGO. Now you can either optimize an SVG string or actually pass in a file. In this case, I've got the string on my clipboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and open the command. Now that it's on my clipboard, I can just repaste this in and you can see how it's already been minified for me. Now, if you're a dev who works in JSX, sometimes you'll actually want an SVG converted from like standard SVG to something that will work in JSX. Well, there's another one called SVGR. This one right here, it will take in whatever your component you want, and you just paste in the SVG code, hit copy to clipboard, and it will actually export it as a component. Now, I suppose for the full effect, I should probably come in here. We'll change this to JSX, and then you can actually see it styled here as well. It's saying, hey, I can pass in props, and then it's just returning here this component as the default. So a really nice and easy way to convert something from standard SVG to JSX. All right, for the 11th one, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm just going to call this docs and services. And there's so many things here that it just doesn't do to leave one out. And I also don't want to have to show you all of them individually. So for instance, you can look for things like web docs, and this will search all the MDM web docs for whatever you want to look for. So if you want to look for like intersection observer, there it is. There's a bunch of these. So like NPM packages, you can search for any of those and favorite ones that you really like. There's also things for specific projects that people have set up. Like for Astro, I can search all the Astro documentation if I want to. Here I can also look for things like Tailwind, and I can search for classes or colors or components, search all the documentation, all that's available. Like I said, there's also things for services. So here's like Netlify. I can search all my existing ones. There's a bunch of commands here. There's also one for Vercel. There's also one for Figma if I want to search by Figma files. There's even a menu bar command I can enable and then get quick access to my Figma files as well. There are also services for programs like Warp. Here I can actually launch a configuration or open whatever I have selected, whatever directory I have selected in Warp automatically. And I use other ones like DevUtils has a bunch of them here if you have that program where you can interact with it. You can also do things like speed test directly from here or work with AWS services directly from here or can I use from here. So lots of really useful docs and services, and I'll leave you to explore those. But again, I just use these things all the time. Finally, let me show you a bonus one. If I come back over here, let's say I wanted to export this and show it off on Twitter in some way. Well, Raycast actually has something you can use to generate images from your code. So you can create an image from code directly, or here this generate image command takes whatever's on your clipboard and does it for you automatically, and then opens it up in the web browser. If I come back over here and create image from code, I can instead manually do this if I want to as well. So I could say like name this, I don't know, like Hono.js, and I can paste in the code right here, pick what I want, and then create the snippet, and it will do the exact same thing. Well, I admit that that was a lot very quickly, but again, the links for all the things I mentioned are in the description below. Remember, if you're interested in seeing a full build of a Raycast extension from scratch in React and TypeScript, let me know and I'll consider doing something like that on my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Happy coding.